Introduction: How to dominate your habits. Your life is controlled by your good and bad habits. By understanding how habits work, you will be able to give up your bad habits and encourage your good ones. In this book, you will learn: what is a habit? How is a habit formed? How can our habits be so bad? How to adopt good habits? How do we break a bad habit? Our answers to these questions are easy to understand, simple to implement, and quick to execute. Ready to dominate your habits. Let's go. What is a habit? A habit is an action that is repeated so frequently that it is performed unconsciously. It is therefore perceived as automatic and emotionless. For example, turning on the light when we enter a room. How is a habit formed? The formation of a habit is linked to the context because of an association between an environment and a behavior. For example, going to a nightclub with friends and drinking alcohol. But initially, a habit is linked to an intention. For example, you want your teeth to be healthy and white, so you start brushing them regularly. How can our habits be so bad? 1/3 of our waking life is carried out unconsciously by our many habits. For example, who sits where at the table? In your habits, you may have experienced the extinction effect of partial reinforcement. This consists in repeating the same action, even without reward, because you are used to doing it without reward. For example, checking your email for the 100th time of the day and finding that there is nothing interesting. You may also have habits of thought. Whether our thoughts are positive or negative depends on how we evaluate what happens to us. And sometimes we evaluate in an unhealthy way. For example, if you have just lost your job, if you have the habit of perceiving yourself as a helpless and guilty person, then you will have difficulty fighting these negative emotions. How to adopt good habits. There are 3 steps to adopting a new habit. The first step is to define a clear and comprehensive goal. Write down what you want your habit to be, what you want it to achieve, and what the potential obstacles are. For example, you want to develop the habit of running every day. The desired outcome would be to be able to run 10 kilometers without stopping, and the potential obstacles for you will be bad weather and physical discomfort. Next, plan your habits in your calendar and have a list of decisions, such as if X then Y, made in advance to overcome your obstacles. For example, if the weather is bad, then I will go to the nearest gym. Finally, remember to repeat your actions so that it becomes automatic. And to maintain a habit over time, it is imperative that you enjoy doing it. For example, during your run, don't get bored and avoid taking the same route every time. How do you break a bad habit? To get rid of a bad habit, make a list of the negative consequences that this habit has in your life. For example, if you smoke, you are out of breath and it costs you money. Next, you will work on your willpower. Willpower is like a muscle and gets stronger with practice. For example, if you have the willpower to go 1 week without nicotine, you will be able to go another week without nicotine. In addition, other tips that will help you are keeping track of your behavior by keeping a diary. If you are about to smoke, distract yourself by chewing gum and stop frequenting the environment where you are engaging in the harmful behavior. As for negative thinking habits, practice mindfulness to better discover and address them. To do this, relax and sit comfortably. Then focus on your breathing and let your mind flow. Don't judge yourself. Be open and compassionate to your thoughts and feelings. In itself, the more attentive and aware you are of your negative thoughts, the easier it will be to let them go. Conclusion: with a little knowledge about habits, we can free ourselves from unhealthy habits and create new healthy ones. If you like the summary, click on one of our partner links to discover Making Habits, Breaking Habits, Why We Do Things, Why We Don't, and How to Make Any Change Stick by Jeremy Dean in ebook, book or audiobook format. And if you're not interested in reading further, we recommend you discover Small Move, Big Change, Using Micro-Resolutions to Transform Your Life Permanently by Caroline L. Arnold. Introduction: How to keep your resolutions. Most of us have a hard time keeping our resolutions, and in the end, we keep our bad habits. By understanding why we have such a hard time keeping our promises, you will be able to keep your resolutions. In this book, you will learn: why is it hard to keep a resolution, how to reduce bad habits, how to make micro-resolutions in your life, how to keep a micro-resolution in the beginning, how to formulate a micro-resolution, how do you trigger a micro-resolution. Our answers to these questions are easy to understand, simple to implement, and quick to execute. Ready to keep your resolutions. Let's go.